Our next topic is Indian trade and industries before the arrival of the British. How was our Indian trade and industries before the arrival of the Britishers? Trade and industries flourished very well in India before the arrival of British in India. The fabrics required in Asian and European countries for manufacturing garments was provided by the mills of Indian. High demand of Indian fabrics like jute, wool, silk and cotton clothes in foreign countries. All this we have studied in our previous chapter also. Fine and soft muslin produced in Dhaka was in demand all the world. Apart from fabrics, commodities like salt, rock, salt, lump sugar, khadi shakar, etc. were also exported from India. In return, India imported lots of gold and silver from these countries. Thus, India was considered rich and prosperous country. All this was before the Britishers invaded our country. Before they came and did the business in our country. You have studied in the first lesson that was arrival of Europeans in our country as traders. The traders how they tried to become the rulers. And now after they taking over us, what had happened to our country? Till now, as of my explanation, you know India is very rich country and India was known as the Soniki Chidiya because we had lot of gold and silver. How we got gold and silver? Because we exported all these things to other country. Now what happened after they took over India? Now we will see what will happen. When lakhs of skilled workers became unemployed, gradually the poor workers of the rural areas of India became poorer. Now we will see Indian trade and industries during the time of British rule. When they took over, what they did was the finished products in the factories of England came to Indian without paying custom duty to be implemented on imported clothes, while garments produced in Indian had to pay 80% duty tax. Now what had happened? Whatever we are importing from outside, importing means the one which comes from other country, we have to pay for it. It was coming without any duty tax, custom tax. That means it is the loss for the country. The country is not gaining anything. But if we have to send something out, if you want, suppose we have clothes to send it out, that is our Indian clothes, we have to pay 80% duty tax. In this way, who is getting the profit? Obviously the government is getting the profit. The person who is sending, it is not getting the profit. So who is the government? The Britishers. They were earning. As a result, garments produced in India became costlier in India itself. Now what they were producing to export, that they had to spend more than the cost of the garment, and the Indian handicraft and cottage industries could not withstand this blow on them. Hence, gradually they were ruining. Now, all this paying of the taxes, it was a very big blow on the industries, and all these people could not take the burden of the taxes. The policy of the British ruined many of our skill based on industries like textile, glass, paper, mineral, shipbuilding, etc. All this was in a very bad shape. Lakhs of Indian skilled workers became unemployed, and the level of poverty among the rural people and the workers kept on increasing and increasing due to the British rule. All this happened because they started levying lot of tax. If you want to export something out, we have to pay taxes. Now from this chart you can see the monopoly of the Britishers. Britain maintained monopoly over India's export and import. As a result, more than half of the Indians' foreign trade was restricted to Britain. So that means Britain is their own country. They were utilizing it. Now second is net exporter of raw material and importer of final goods. It was opening by Suez Canal in 1869. Everything was did not allow us to send material to any other country other than Britain. Everything was in their benefit. Now see the drain of Indian wealth. Huge export surplus due to huge export volume. Export surplus used to benefit Britishers, to incur administrative expenses, to import invisible items, to incur expenses of war fought by British government. If they are fighting somewhere, who has to pay for it was Indians have to pay for it because they were ruling our country. So all this was becoming very difficult for us. Whatever money we earned with gold and silver, what we earned before when we were rich, it went as if it was all taken over by the Britishers.